Can't find the analyst.
The analyst.
But Sukup Manufacturing, sukup.com. Thank you very much for the season-long sponsorship of the Monday at about 10:05. We mentioned last segment, Ben Johnson, coach of the Chicago Bears. He gets the Lions to close things, end at Soldier Field. Ben Johnson gets Dan Campbell at home many weeks, several months after the Detroit Lions, week 2, put 52 points up on the Chicago Bears at Ford Field.
Oh my God.
The Chicago Bears will do their darndest this weekend to score 70 that game. So those listening in Nordo's Prize Picks Covenant,
I always love that one.
Make sure you've been informed. Our work is done. Yours has just begun. They're going to try to score 70. So every Loveland, every DJ Moore, I mean, you got to get deep on this thing. If Monungai's healthy, you got to get Monungai into the mix in Nordo's Prize Picks Covenant because it's going to come from everywhere and all the time. Now, Nordo mentioned at the end of Vikes Bites, Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores.
Can I clomp on you for a second?
Of course.
Going backwards here to the Bears, back to the Bears, and then Flores, B-Flow. Let's give 5, though, to B-Flow. What you would say discretion is the better part of valor.
5 ain't happening. I mean, no,
I know.
No, but I think the team might do 5.
Can we do 3 for B?
Or make it in unison with O'Connell's deal, which I don't exactly know.
Yeah, but it was 4 or 5.
Yeah, something like that. 2 or through 2029, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So with let's go. Yeah, let's start with 3 for B and see where it goes.
3 for B.
I need B flow in my life with this team.
I understand.
The discretion is the better part of valor. I believe that's a term I've heard Pete utter. I've heard you say it as well.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of trying, and I know exactly why you're saying it, and I think that there's a high likelihood of it happening.
Mm-hmm.
You want to beat the Lions week 18 to assure yourself that 2 seed as the Philly Flyers are hosting the Commanders week 18. So you want to keep the birds down.
Yeah.
But in the same sense, I mean, if Monungai's got, let's keep Monungai fresh. Let's keep some of these guys because, yes, I know the 2 seed matters.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But it's like the season that you had, everything that's gone right. Nixon, you saw Noah Sewell go out last night with a non-contact injury in that game against the Niners.
Oh, geez.
The defense that has struggled with health over the course, I think Nashawn Wright was out. What world are we living in, by the way? Nashawn Wright gets hurt last night, and then Tyreek Stevenson rolls in.
Wow.
I mean, what a change, and all respect to Wright, the season that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if at some point
I see what you're saying.
Can Ben Johnson in his first year as head coach and feeling so good for himself and for this team, can he pull back the reins? That'll be an interesting test for the coach when they stake that lead, and I think they will stake a nice lead in that game against the Kitties.
I see what you're saying, but I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I always love that one.
With the Prize Picks Covenant, okay, like they're really going to jack up the overs on Bajent, Duvernay.
That's a good point.
Ja'Day Walker, Durham Smythe. First touchdown this year, first touchdown in 3 years. Durham Smythe, who knew? Nordo knew. So you got that. I mean, Caleb will play until they're up 25, and then Bajan comes in, and that's where Nordo's Prize Picks Covenant slides in the back door with the over 1/2 on Tyson Bajan touchdowns.
How good would that be? It is actually fun to handicap some of these games because on the other end of it,
Olamide Zaccheaus, who knew?
You think Campbell wants to end the season with that massacre that occurred on Christmas and then double it up by getting embarrassed at Soldier Field on Sunday?
He has no choice.
He might run Gibbs 40 times on Sunday.
He has no choice.
Yeah, I know you're right.
Ben has this sucker just absolutely rolling.
Man, it was humming last night.
They scored 52 points on Ben Johnson before he had these Bears even close to up to speed.
All right. Well,
now he's got him up to speed, Bajent. fades to fire, looks right, fires left, caught. Devin Duvernay never plays. Oh, he flips it to Durham Smythe, who runs into the end zone inside the 5. Touchdown, Bears, fade to black.
I wish there were, and it's the smartest way for the NFL to do it, betting and everything included, but that some of these games wouldn't be at the same time. Because I assume Bears, when are Bears? Ooh, Bears Sunday 3:25.
Ooh.
When's Philly?
Same time, I'd guess.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
See, would have been, I mean, if that,
the best.
I know that's why they do it, and it's the smartest way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe Philly just lays it in or just actually mails it in, loses to the Commanders, and then suddenly, I don't know who the second or, I mean, you got Hendon Hooker out there starting the 3 p.m. slate.
Hendon Hooker.
You got Bajan, of course, in the Bears game, rather.
Yeah.
No, that'd be an interesting one to watch. I lean towards your end, though. Ben Johnson's going to want to put a stamp on this regular season and do it on the forehead of Dan Campbell and the kiddies.
I will leave you with this. Maybe pay it off a little at the 11 and more tomorrow, when we're at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center for the final TCO Tuesday, 9 to noon, 2025 season. So with Brian Flores and his contract, all right, nobody is shooting down that Coach Flores and his contract is up at the end of the season. So therefore, since there's been no inside or no pushback, I think it's fair to say that his deal's up at the end of the year, and it's fair to lay it out like this for me. I don't know what Brian makes, and I don't care what he makes. I don't envision Brian Flores becoming a head coach this next cycle coming at us. I'm not even sure that's what Brian Flores wants at this stage of his career. He has kids in Minnesota sports programs. He and his wife absolutely love it here, and I'd be shocked if Brian is not here on some new swanky deal. So that's where I'm at with it right now. Might share a little more later. When we return, Border Battle, Cinny, 9 to noon.
Border Battle.
Cinny, good morning.
Good morning, my man.
David Sinykin at TC Head Cheese via X, Packer Preview, the radio show, Packer Review, the podcast via the vast and ever expanding iHeart Audio Network. Saturday night, what hurt? What hurt you on Saturday night?
How long do we got this segment, PA?
As much as you need, man.
It's the defensive lack of anything. The defense not showing up in a game that still had a lot going for it, even though the ticket got punched thanks to the Vikings. The fact that run defense seemed to have no interest in dealing with Derrick Henry and the Ravens in the home season finale at your place in a big spot with a backup quarterback needing your help. Really disappointed because that has not been a problem for this team this year. And, granted, I know there's some guys out, but it was a really bad day for the defensive line, for the linebackers, and that lack of caring, that lack of even wanting to be out there by that side of the ball really bugged me.
I owe you a FISA, Fairness and Cine Act. When Devontae Wyatt went down, might have been in the Vikings game, but right around there, the one at Lambeau, I thought you oversold it a little bit, how significant he was with his omission. And into the equation, I think you're absolutely right.
Well, yeah, he was playing at a level that was going to garner him some Pro Bowl votes. He was really becoming a dominant inside presence, and they needed it so much because obviously they traded Kenny Clark in the Micah Parsons deal. So they didn't really have a contingency plan. They didn't prepare to deal Clark and add draft picks or any kind of free agent capital to augment the defensive line. They just got really thin when they traded Clark, and then you lose Wyatt and you're counting on a bunch of day 3 rookies and second-year guys who just aren't ready. And the linebacker, Quay Walker may have had his worst game as a Packer Saturday night. Cooper wasn't much better. It just wasn't a good night for the front seven. And, when Wyatt went down, it was a sneaky big loss for this team because they started getting moving up the power rankings as his play got better. Nobody really talked about him much, but didn't have a backup plan for him, and it's really shown the last couple of weeks.
Clayton Tune, though. Are we going to get Clayton Tune this weekend?
I would have to think there's a good chance. Willis obviously banged up late in that game. His shoulder's not great. There's a slight chance he plays. I can't imagine a scenario where Jordan Love plays in this game, but Matt LaFleur has not made any proclamations because why would he on Monday? But, yeah, it might be the Clayton Tune, Max Brosmer show for the border battle to close out 2025.
So you're probably going to get the Bears at Soldier Field wild card round, right?
Yeah, really good chance of that. The Bears would need to lose to the Lions, and then Philly wins for Philly to get the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
Well, we played 120 minutes against the Bears this year. We've yet to trail for 1 minute against them. Wow. So if you're asking me which team would I like to play most, it's the Bears by a mile. I have unfinished business for how that game ended a couple of Saturdays ago. I give them a lot of credit. It's not going to be an easy game, but I know the Packers would love another shot at them. I doubt the Bears would love to face Green Bay again. But yeah, that's the matchup I absolutely want by far. It's either at Chicago or at Philly. I want nothing to do with that Philly defense and that road trip. Give me another date in Soldier Field for a little payback.
Well, with K9 guy and Valentine, how are you going to handle Ben?
Valentine was atrocious Saturday night. The guy cannot tackle. He's a decent cover guy, but he got benched for Nate Hobbs, and then Nate Hobbs got hurt, and then Kamal Hadden got hurt, and Green Bay basically had 1.5 cornerbacks on their roster, and the half a guy is Bo Melton, who was playing wide receiver. So there's a real issue at cornerback, and yeah, they're gonna have to deal with Caleb for sure. But I'll take our chances. Let's see if Caleb can handle that big spot. But cornerback is a pressing need for this organization, as it has been for a few years. It's the number one for sure going into next year.
Cindy.
In your face, Milwaukee.
Outside of the covenant, I can't imagine. We were just discussing it. I can't imagine what Ben Johnson is going to do to Detroit in the finale after the Lions. They scored 52 on him in week 2 when his squad wasn't ready. And clearly it's markedly better now than it was then. I mean, seriously, he might try to score 70 on these Lions, no matter who plays, Williams or Bajan. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, for sure. And it's funny, we were talking about this yesterday. The Lions 3 years ago went into week 18 with nothing to play for, and they went into Green Bay and ended the Aaron Rodgers era and kept the Packers from the playoffs. Ooh. So they always have fight in them. But that was before they became like these NFC contenders. They were still the little engine that could, trying to prove themselves. Now, going into that game with a completely deflating year after being the 1 seed a year ago, and half those guys booking their trips to Cancun, it's got bludgeoning written all over it, and Ben Johnson will have a lot of fun lighting it up against that team for sure. But, Bears had Luther Burden on a card at the end of that game. Ooh. They have receiving issues, so I'm not sure how fancy he can get with his offense, knowing that a much important game looms likely the following Sunday against the Pack.
Cindy, Border Battle Weekly at TC Head Cheese. If Green Bay loses its first playoff game, is Matt LaFleur a cinch to be the head coach next season?
In any other year, I'd say, yeah, probably. Why do you make the move? But I don't think it's a cinch with that policy now running the show in Green Bay for the first time. And, we don't know what's going through his head. We know he's not going to let him dangle on the last year of his deal. Same thing with Brian Gutekunst. So they're either going to get extensions or they're going to be shown the door. And I don't think Goody is in danger of being shown the door, especially after making the big trade and knowing what that means for draft capital the next couple of years and the way the team was built and how they were playing before Micah got hurt. I mean, 2 weeks ago, heading into that Denver game, Green Bay was 9-3-1 and looking like the dangerous team nobody wants to play. So I think the team has been built correctly. I think that you look at the guys, you mentioned Wyatt and Parsons and Kraft and Jenkins, and we can go on, that have been lost to injury. I think Goody's safe. But, yeah, if it's an ugly first-round playoff loss, if the Bears drill the Packers, I would not be stunned. I don't know who he would look at, if he's got any guys in mind that he think would be the right guy to usher in the prime of Love and Parsons together. But, yeah, I do not think it's a cinch LaFleur is back if things go completely pear-shaped in round one of the playoffs for the Pack.
Your squad obviously got the worst of this, but Derrick Henry is, I mean, when he's chugging, man, and when they're caring about things, he is one tough customer, isn't he?
He's King Henry. You know, he tied a record that AP and Sayers and Peyton had, 200 yards at Lambeau Field. It's only happened 4 times. It was the best rushing performance ever at Lambeau Field by an opponent. It's just he hasn't looked like that all year. You know, they lost so much of their offensive line. They put in new guys that weren't really cohesive. He's fumbled a million times. I mean, the fact that he was able to do that with a backup quarterback when Green Bay's number one goal should have been let anybody but Derrick Henry beat us. You could say the Packers, didn't bring it, but you have to give some credit to that guy and what a stud he is. He is a problem. He's going to be a problem for Pittsburgh Sunday night. And that team that started 1-5 and looked dead in the water a month ago, they're going to host a playoff game and they're going to ride the legs of Derrick Henry. When he's chugging, man, there are a few guys more fun to watch.
Time for 2 more.
And the silence you hear is Lambeau Field.
That's for sure.
Did it all fall off when Micah got hurt?
100%. I mean, you look at that. Blakemore and I were saying this on Sunday. Halftime in Denver, Green Bay has 250 yards of offense. They're up 8 points.
Ooh.
They're looking at a signature road win. And then Micah goes down. And, unfortunately, Rashawn Gary has been on a milk carton since the season started and has not been able to make up for that absence. So there's really a lack of pass rush and just not enough talent healthy on the defensive side of the ball. So, second half in Denver, Zach Tom gets hurt, Christian Watson gets hurt, leaves the game, and then Micah goes down. And that just felt like the season kind of crumbled. Not to say they can't pick things up and make a little run here and have some fun, but it's hard to envision after watching the last 2.5 games.
All right, lastly here, player inclusion Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium. I mean, it feels like no Josh Jacobs for sure, but any what hit you? Like what hit your heart right now? Well, I don't think these people should play.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, it's hard to bench too many of the linemen because they're just not very deep. But obviously, Zach Tom, who's missed the last couple of games at right tackle, he won't be out there. I don't think Jacobs, Watson, or Love are out there. Maybe Dobbs as well, who's had nursed some injuries. Even Jaden Reed, who's been nursing injuries.
Right.
It might be the Matthew Golden show. Maybe he'll actually get more than 3 targets in a game, which might be, ready to pop the champagne if we actually see that. And then defensively, there's not a whole lot you can do, but I would rest the safeties, McKinney and Williams, and I would, certainly maybe Lucas Van Ness, who had the best game of his career Saturday night, got lost in a terrible defensive effort. He's been banged up. I'd like to keep him healthy. So, 7, 8, 9 guys, I think you have to rest and get ready for Chicago or Philly. The schedule comes out. It's week 18 border battle. You hope so much is on the line, and this is what we got. It's a little deflating, isn't it?
Border Battle Sunday, noon, U.S. Bank Stadium.
Border Battle.
Nordo and Cinny got something up their sleeves this weekend. What is it?
Yeah, I wanted to hit this on the radio with you, Cinny. BorderBattle.org. That's where you can find out about an event taking place Sunday morning, just a couple hours before the Border Battle. It's at the Old Toll Bridge in downtown Hudson. It's a tug-of-war contest between Vikings fans and Packers fans, and it's a charity that is generating funds to support the first responders associations from both sides of the St. Croix River. The winner of the tug-of-war event receives the larger portion of the 60-40 split. Hashtag Tug for a cause. Cinny, you and I are going to be the respective MCs of our favorite teams. What pumps you up about this event on Sunday?
Probably got into my favorite watering hole in Hudson afterwards and imbibing a bit and watching the game. I can't wait for that. I can't wait to meet a whole lot of Packer and Viking fans and have some fun with you. And, there's so many great causes out there, but knowing we're raising money for brave first responders in the Stillwater area and the Hudson area makes my heart swell a little bit. I can't wait to do it. I'm going to zip over there as soon as Packer Preview is done. It starts at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. The fact that our game is at noon makes it perfect as the dessert following this event. But it should be a whole lot of fun, big-time tug-of-war between Packer and Viking fans. You and I hitting it up a little bit and raising money for an awesome cause. I can't wait.
No, thanks for including me in this, Cindy. I'm excited about it, and they can find out more, donate, and support the cause at BorderBattle.org. It's going to be a blast.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yep. You got it, guys. Happy New Year.
See you, brother.
Happy New Year.
BorderBattle.org. Like Nardo said, Old Toll Bridge, downtown Hudson, 10 a.m. And from a registration standpoint, you can register via Venmo, $30. Must include your name, phone number, email, pertinent information. Just cut us in the Zelle covenant right out, didn't they? I just said that for you. The event benefits
that makes you the second host of the fan that I've confirmed uses Zelle.
First responders.
I'll let you decide who the other one is. The
event benefits first responders associations from both sides of the St. Croix River. Winning team gets a 60-40, Nardo mentioned. And afterwards, watch a football game at one of the fine establishments in the St. Croix Valley. Well done with this website, BorderBattle.org. Help out, BorderBattle.org. That's next weekend. What about the previous weekend? Let's wrap. Scott Hendricks and Hoffman Cooling and Heating, thank you for everything during 2025. And here's to a winning 2026, too. These guys and Scott, the owner of Hoffman Cooling and Heating, Scott Hendricks, they're awesome and they're very kind. So give them a try for all your heating and cooling needs because they work hard, they are honest, and not part of a big chain. They stand alone with their company, and they stand alone with their reliability. HoffmanHeating.net. Let's weekend wrap. PJ, Sky Yuma, PJ is 7-0 in bowl games.
From about this spot, he found Jalen Smith in the first half. Lindsey waits out of the pistol. Straight drop. Has time. Throws toward the end zone. It is a diving attempt and caught! Touchdown! Jalen Smith! Back to the end zone! Walks it off on a baseball field!
Dope call at the end there by Grimmer. But Lindsey's pass, sweet. So that's a weekend wrap on the Gopher season where the fan base knows it has a young, improving quarterback who has talent and a recruiting class that's ballyhooed nationwide. We look forward to our chats with the head coach next year. Congratulations on winning the Rate.com Bowl. Let's keep weekend wrapping with the positives. After basically never beating the Winnipeg Jets, and especially north of the border, now your Quinnesota Wild is showing off.
Here's Kaprizov cutting through the neutral zone. Kirill Kaprizov in on side, worked to the U-center. Boldy scores! That Boldy wins it in overtime! Ripping one under the crossbar on a beautifully set up passing play, and the Wild stun the Jets, and they win it 4-3 in overtime.
That wasn't even fair. It was so beautiful. From Kaprizov to Quinn to Boldy.
Yep.
See ya.
Boldy right down the slot, and there's your dagger. The Jets are having some problems. Not New York. Well, yeah, New York, but Winnipeg also having some problems this year, but absolutely gave their best. But their best was second best this time. The Wild grabbed 2 and beat Connor Hellebuck for the first time ever. I think Hellebuck, he's 7-0-1 or something like that against them. The boys are at the Vegas Golden Knights tonight. That's 9 o'clock, FM 100.3, KFAN. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves had beaten the ratty Brooklyn Nets 6 consecutive times, But then Saturday night happened.
The horn sounds, and that'll do it. Brooklyn, 7-3 in the month of December. They were impressive tonight. They led by as many as 21. They win it by 16.
That's a kick in the old cohesion. What happened? Finchie said they took bad routes at the point of attack, gave up way too many paint points, and had their butts kicked in every category. The Brooklyn Nets, improved to 10-19. They've won 7 of their last 10. Said Hal are at Chicago tonight. That one is on the Timberwolves iHeart channel. And expect it to be a game of the overwhelming variety.
I wonder with Ant, because I noticed there was some post-game locker stuff. I mean, that's ugly to lose to the Nets the way you did the other night. Mm-hmm. Now, Ant is kind of well known. He's always very connected with the media. Almost there's a casual openness, stream of consciousness with Ant.
Yeah.
But I've noticed kind of a theme after awful losses like this. It's almost as if he turns up the charm a bit more. I don't know if you've noticed that per se, but very much in people were kind of reacting negatively, like, oh, just nobody cares about losing terrible games like this. I think Anthony cares, but there's almost like in these moments he almost puts a veneer on a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping for a big bounce back from Mr. Ant and company with this next one here.
Well, the approach, personally speaking, I think is brilliant. And I've shared this before. Like if I ever get called down to a corner office here or at one of my jobs, the whole conversation is neutralized right out of the gate when you just remind the bosses how grateful you are to work here and how much you love them.
I always love that one.
I told you lately how much I love you and your family. And then all of a sudden everything's neutralized.
I always love that one.
And then we're back to 9 to noon.
You roll in with 3 compliments on a note card and changes the entire frame of things.
That's what Anthony's doing after losing to the Brooklyn Nets, which is a kick in the old cohesion.
Yeah.
All right, to the NFL. Yeah, we just talked to Cinny, but it's not bad dropping a late lump of coal into that Packer stocking.
Derrick Henry is back in the backfield in that power I formation. He'll get the carry on the toss. Gets around the corner. He's in the 20. 10, 5, touchdown! Derrick Henry! And with that run, he breaks the NFL record for the most games with 200 yards carrying. He surpasses O.J. Simpson and Adrian Peterson and becomes the first NFL running back to crest the 200-yard mark 7 times in his career.
On play-by-play for the Baltimore Ravens, that is the right Jerry Sandusky. I'm the wrong Paul Allen.
Sandusky,
that is 3-2. That's the right Jerry Sandusky. I'm the wrong Paul Allen. The right Jerry Sandusky with an excellent call.
I always love that one.
The border battle this weekend at noon. Clayton Tune, though, Green Bay with a Derrick Henry going immortality on it. Then you get to a team of a different shade in the division. The Chicago Bears are division champions, and last night played the 49ers right down to the wire.
Purdy's in the shotgun with Robinson beside him. They're at the Bears' 38-yard line, second down. Purdy drops back. Purdy steps up. Purdy throws middle. There's Jennings. He's got it. Inside the 20, the 10. He's gone. Touchdown. 49ers back in front.
Next level Shanny.
I need Papa back.
Next level Shanny has gone to a plus 130 favorite to win Coach of the Year. Yours truly, be shipping in black chips on that selection. He's now favored, plus 130, and I think he gets it. Now the Niners host the Seahawks for the NFC 1 seed, Saturday Night Football. Darnold, Week 18, 1 seed, road. What possibly could go amiss?
I always love that one.
The New York Giants, for whatever the reason, gave the first overall pick in the draft to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Giant lead is now 20-10 with 2:31 to go in the third. Kick comes to the near side. Banks fields it at the 5. He's to the 20. He's to the 30. There goes Banks along the left. He's across midfield. It's a foot race. Deontay Banks to the 20. 10, 5. Touchdown, Giants. And that's how you respond after giving up the 4th and goal touchdown pass. Banks takes it to the house.
Yeah, he gave 7 and took 7 away.
This wasn't a football game. Honestly, it was a war of attrition. WFA in New York must be so loud right now with the, you idiots, you're supposed to quit and lay down and fix the game and lack professional pride and forget about achieving whatever bonuses you may have in front of you. The Giants those Giants didn't care. They played hard, they won, and that's how the NFL works. And just when you think you have it all figured out, a big underdog starting a rookie quarterback against a Hall of Famer in a game said HOF really, really needed, jumps up and steals the show.
4th and goal, 7-yard line, no timeout. Browns up 13-6. Week 17, 21 ticks to go. Browns have 2 timeouts. That does not matter right now. Rodgers empty. Wing
What's the weather like?
Gainwell. Rodgers to
According
throw.
to everyone.
Fade, right side. Incomplete. No flag. Denzel Ward on the coverage. Play your guitar, Pro Bowler. Browns 13-6. They're taking over on downs, and they can take a knee.
Rodgers left Thielen open twice in the end zone for the game-tying scores. Thielen got open twice. And then he threw 3 consecutive times to Marquez Valdez-Scantling and lost the game because of it. I was like, wow, what point are we making here? I mean, you talk about moonwalking into a divisional championship game. That's Sunday in Pittsburgh, Sunday Night Football, Ravens and Steelers for all the money in the North, and the loser stays home from the playoffs. Same scenario with Carolina and Tampa Bay. That's a Saturday afternoon game. Couple of moonwalkers meeting Sunday in Florida for the NFC South title. And the loser gets the offseason. Eagles beat the Bills, end of 1-3 in a row. And the Rams play Kirk O'Chains tonight on Monday Night Football. That is your weekend wrap. Thanks to Hoffman Cooling and Heating and HoffmanHeating.net. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. News du Nord is next on FM 100.3 KFAN. Y'all with it now, buddy.
News du Nord brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com.
Beef.
Poker, blackjack, and table games all year round, having sips at chips, and live racing is going to be kicking off again in the spring. Always looking forward to the springtime and live racing 2026 edition coming your way. CanterburyPark.com for all event-related details. We will continue on with the NFL conversation, mentioning Bears and Niners, and I mean, what a horse race that freaking thing was last night. And the Niners coming out on top, still controlling their own destiny, not just in the West, but in the NFC. But the Bears coming out of it, feeling good about that offense, but tough with injuries. Luther Burden has suffered a quad injury on the final play that the bounce pass to, I think it was, is it Ja'Day Walker?
Yep.
As Caleb was scrambling and buying himself as much time as he could, Burden was laying on the turf in the end zone and had to be helped off the field. That's something to watch, not just into the weekend, but moving forward. But Noah Sewell, brother of Panay. I think there's 4 Sewells playing football, not all in the NFL at this point, but the Sewell family is certainly an athletic one. May have torn his Achilles last night, PA. So you remember seeing him a couple of times this year, how important that he was in various stints for this defensive unit, who has suffered a ton of injuries in 2025. But Noah Sewell, it sounds like, may have torn his Achilles, and of course then would be done for the season. Massive loss for the Bears, and they would also then be on Burden watch as he showed up in a big way last night. He's a playmaker, super talented, and impressive game for him until the injury.
Well, what you said an hour ago about discernment being the better part of valor, you sold me on it then. I mean, but now you're getting me over the hump because they're going to have a home playoff game. They're going to want to win because they're going to want to get Green Bay in week 1 of the super wild card weekend. But now T.J. Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, they were going through some injury-related L's during the year. T.J. Edwards specifically early in the year.
Yeah.
Noah Sewell filled in for him, played with his hair on fire. So I'm not exactly sure if T.J. I know Tremaine's playing, but I don't know about T.J. That depth piece right there, that ain't cool for Dennis Allen's defense. The way the Missouri rookie is coming on, specifically with Rome Odunze missing games.
Yep. So
I ain't counting on Rome Odunze playing against the Lions, but absolutely would count on him against Green Bay or in first round of the playoffs. But you're right. The injury situations is muddling things a little bit for Ben's Bears.
I know it's bad for business to say complimentary things about the adversary.
No, that's actually good for business. It's bad for business to win fewer games than you would have in a season when Josh Dobbs was your quarterback for a fair amount, or finishing last at any time in any division.
That's a very good point.
Those bits are bad for business.
You know who's come on for them? Austin Booker for the Bears.
Yeah.
I think he had 2 or 3 batted passes last night.
Yeah.
He was up in Purdy's business all night. Now, you're looking at a 42-38 game, so tough getting loud about defensive prowess in a score fest like that. But in moments, I thought Austin Booker's been terrific. And as you look at these injuries, guys needing to step up, a 5th rounder from last year, that's a nice little coin in the pocket of Dennis Allen and those Bears.
He's their best down lineman pass rusher at this stage, from what insiders tell me, better than Montez Sweat. So Booker is really, really finishing well. Nice hit.
NFC West, you mentioned it. It's Niners hosting the Seahawks for not just the West, but the 1 seed.
What are we going to do here?
I mean, I'm leaning on the Niners. I mean, I just believe Niners at home with this freight train of an offense they have going right now, all the right strings being pulled at the right times.
If Smith and Jigba, Kupp and Barner wiggle their ways open inside the 10, and Darnold hits them, I'm going to have to turn the game off. It's going to be PTSD. I'm going to have to turn the game off if he all of a sudden is hitting these guys in a Week 18 road game for a 1 seed.
You mean just like he did in primetime against the Rams? Coming over
No, I mean the Lions game last year.
No, I know. I'm just saying doing what he did in primetime against the Rams wwhere he overcame in a spot.
Yes.
Now, this is all
that's regular season for show.
This is for all the Tostitos.
Yeah, this is 1 seed for the dough.
But that's where I was going to go with the Rams is we've talked, best division or toughest division. The Rams have an MVP leading them offensively. Puka, and we're all being satisfied fantasy-wise on a weekly basis.
Whatever it is.
And the defense and what they're able to do, they're the odd man out, oddly enough. So you're watching tonight's game, and it's going to be fun from an entertainment standpoint, specifically if you're rooting for high-end offensive performances from a Puka Nacua and or Stafford, certainly, maybe a Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Maybe Bijan is your flavor on the Atlanta side. But
you think Cuz Buzz thinking about one more year next year for a team that might need a Phillip Rivers or an Aaron Rodgers to come in and throw the ball around?
Well, how inspiring is Phil?
You think he's going to be handing off the ball? I mean, we'll see how many times Cousins throws it, but Bijan catches.
Bijan should have 12 receptions tonight. Let's put him up now.
Was Rivers bad yesterday?
That's ridiculous. Rivers was fine. Rivers is 44.
I know.
Again, it's still the I'm just a Rube and a child in awe. And they pump up the mics. Maybe they're doing that intentionally, as we were talking about.
They did it again yesterday.
But just listening to him put all the pieces on the board, and he gets to the line quickly enough to do that. You never see that anymore. You just really don't.
Do you stick with the opinion? Last time we chatted on the radio was Wednesday at the Feast. You banged your fist down on the table at Buffalo Wild Wings Roseville and said, "This team is 13-4 with Aaron Rodgers."
No, I don't believe that.
Oh, that wasn't you?
I
might have been Warren.
So if Rodgers is happy and healthy, we are a playoff team right now. I mean, we'll play more talkbacks. I think just pragmatically you have to say that this defense, with what it has done, on paper, it's a roster to win now. All those July and August conversations leading into the September boom at Soldier Field. The crux of the issue with the team remains its ability to execute an offense. And that comes from the guy at the top of the totem pole, and the offense happens to be the quarterback.
Hey.
If Rodgers is our QB, we're having a playoff feast.
Okay, well, when it comes to the where did we go wrong, how much of it can just start and stop by saying whatever fiasco was surrounding Christian Darrisaw this season?
Yeah.
That's like the start and the stop of where did we go wrong? Because offense doesn't stay on field long enough. Defense stretched at bad times. Defense gets used to being stretched.
Right.
3 in a row for B-Flow, overcomes things, and then it becomes the Minnesota Vikings defense right now against teams ascending, teams trying to win big games. It's one of the very best overall defenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
It can't be argued. It's one of the most underrated stories at the end of the 2025 because of the record. I mean, just think about it. The Lions had 8 giveaways all season. B-Flow's unit took it 6 times. I mean, that right there that's a topic material if you're a playoff team, but they're not.
Well, I would like that route better then, because
the Darrisaw fiasco, though,
for me to go back in time and say if we had actually, whatever that looked like inside a room somewhere, and it was a little dimly lit, maybe there was an ashtray and just a half smoked cigarette sitting there, and they're just absolutely lighting the midnight oil on fire with conversations about whether or not they were going to bring Rodgers in. I have no idea how that all worked out, but they didn't, obviously. It's tougher for me to go back in time and saying, well, if we would have added Rodgers, that's obvious. I do believe there's probably better results in tow there. Certainly, you can stop and start conversations with the offensive line. The 12 million combinations of whatever it was. Justin School early, Justin School middle actually had some really good reps. Justin School late, okay. And then everything that went into that. Will Fry
everything
evolving into maybe our most consistent guy in 2025.
Yeah.
Brian O'Neill, still love him, very nicked up. Ryan Kelly and the concussions, the rookie, the ups and downs of a rookie campaign. Darrisaw, Willie won't he, the whole season. You could certainly, I think, stop and start the conversation with whatever McCarthy was like, whatever this, Do we get the torn labrum shoulder situation with Carson if the O-line's better?
Right.
You can, maybe all of that starts with just, what a disaster the offensive line was, sadly, in 2025.
The Christmas Day game was on Netflix, so closed circuit to...
Were you rocking the Snoop in the booth?
Yeah. I was in the back of the booth for a little bit. Okay. Then all of a sudden it was bump. I'm like, hey.
Did you get some veggies and some chicken tenders? And you were sitting there? You're like,
up in my spot. Came into the second half on the audio leader. Well, we just experienced, or Snoop just shared with us, is nothing but a G thing. For the Vikings, they're hoping it's nothing but a W thing. And boom, second half is in the air. But it was a Netflix game. There are 3 people who are going to understand this narrowcast. You, me, and Abbott if he's listening. Diana Rossini was the sideline analyst for Netflix.
Yeah.
Writes for The Athletic.
Yep.
All over that Aaron Rodgers stuff. I started taking the other side via social media, which I basically never do. Rossini walks by me on the Viking sideline 2 hours before the game and goes, Rodgers.
I always love that one.
Sniff, sniff. Okay, that didn't happen. But if maybe Abbott smiled, Nordo chortled.
It would have been all time. Rodgers, huh?
What happened?
Rodgers, huh?
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been special.
I've already lost where I was. Ravens and Steelers. Well, you mentioned Ravens and Steelers. That's going to be capping all the festivities, and that's really where we're at from an NFL standpoint. We have Wolves at
Ravens -3.
Yeah.
On the road. Yeah, they're favored. So some lines are starting to come out now.
Does that smell like a Lamar appearance?
I don't know. I don't know that it matters.
Or it's just
believe it or not.
It's the impotence of that offense without DK.
Yes. Yeah, that's the A topic for me. They just went to Cleveland. With all due respect to the call, they just went to, now division games are different, man. They always are different, no matter if the divisional dog decides it wants to play. Divisional games, because of the familiarity, they are markedly more even than point spreads would indicate.
Yeah.
With Myles Garrett trying to run down that Strahan sack record that he didn't get, well, there was built-in motivation. Cleveland was all wound up, played a great game. But no DK Metcalf, definitely hindered and hampered what the Steelers' offense was trying to do. If Pittsburgh runs Warren and runs and throws to Gainwell and hits Freiermuth every 8 plays, it should not lose this game. I think TJ Watt's down, right?
TJ Watt had a collapsed lung, I think.
Oh, it's IR.
There was a little ambiguity around it. Well, I don't think he's IR because they're keeping it's like return. We're still thinking about the playoffs, so we want to keep that whatever the return timetable is.
Yeah,
he would not. I don't believe that he would be likely to play though.
This is not a shocker that the NFL, with its forward thinking, is just really, really good with final week scenarios. I don't remember when it happened, but when they shifted that final week to nothing but division games, A+ maneuver with that.
Yeah.
They didn't know Vikings-Packers, would have the Vikings missing the postseason by a half game, Green Bay going in battered. But nevertheless, you got Dan Campbell and his Lions at Soldier Field to take on Ben in the final game of the season for both teams. It also ends up with Dave Canales, head coach of the Carolina Panthers, going to Tampa Bay to win the division, and the loser stays home. Canales, former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now you got Darnold, take 2 on the road, week 18, 1 seed at stake, divisional game.
It's unbelievable.
Damn.
And the 325 slate? You got Chiefs and Raiders.
Hey.
Yeah, you got Chiefs and Raiders, and the Chiefs are vying for
I'm still trying
Chiefs
to
and Raiders.
figure out. I didn't watch any on a Christmas Day. I think that was the game after us, Chiefs and somebody.
Chiefs and Broncos.
Yeah, the quarterback for Kansas City. I looked at his name one time.
Coon or
is
something?
Is that who it is?
I think so.
Who's Coon?
Well, I
know Minshew dead, Mahomes dead.
I think that's why.
Coon, though.
That's who Coon is.
Okay.
Maybe like Clayton Tune, who we might see on Sunday. I took way too much time, but that's News to Nord, brought to you by Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com.
It's 11:06. You're listening to 9 to Noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. You're home for Minnesota Vikings season closing football this Sunday at noon for the Boom on KFAN.